When lifting weights, use proper form and a full range of motion. We arrive at the mall, a big indoor shopping center with a couple of different floors. It's kind of dead, but that doesn't stop a mall security guard from yelling at a group of loitering teens.
What do you mean it's kind of dead? It's like high school just got out. All the teenagers would be there.
No one goes to malls anymore.
Oh, well, to be fair, he did drive all the way to the mall, so the high schoolers aren't there yet.
Yeah. Let's eat something disgusting for dinner.
Hell yeah.
Language, Missy.
Oh, I mean, fuck yeah.
There we go. Better. We approach the food court and evaluate our options. There's greasy restaurants after greasy restaurants. My heart burns just looking at the menus. Nobody looks happy to be here. I would assume not.
What are you in the mood for? Bread dipped in sugar, bread with cheese on it, or do you just want me to inject some fat directly into your bloodstream?
I extend my hand to her. Would you do me the honor of sharing some nachos?
She takes my hand with a grin. It would make me the happiest, cheesiest girl alive.
We order a giant pile of chips and unnaturally orange cheese from a very unenthusiastic and impossibly stoned teenager. We take a seat at a rickety table and dig in.
Whoa! These are bad. These are really bad.
But also strangely delicious.
At my old work, I was gonna say from the work, but I still work there, so probably shouldn't say the work. But at my old location, everybody that I opened with in the morning wore tie. I was the only sober one in the building.
Hold on, wait. I'll be right back.
I think me and one other person.
When I used to work at the movie theater, we would have coworkers come in high.
My coworkers would come in. I don't know if they would come in high, but they would come in, and then on their break they would smoke weed, and then they would go back to work high.
Okay, where were we?
But strangely delicious. We have to eat through the pain. I thought it would be fun to go eat out, like at the mall, instead of eating in.
I like mall food.
I like mall food too.
We enjoy the fluorescent cheesy goodness together until we're all out of nachos.
If I had known they were gonna be this miserable to eat nachos, I would have just went home.
Oh. Something been bothering me for a while. Can you explain memes to me?
Why is our character so old?
I don't know. Like, our mom is Gen X and she understands memes.
Yeah, she understands how to use her phone. She understands memes. Which meme?
All memes?
Dad.
Amanda sighs deeply and places her head in her hands.
Dad, it's complicated. See, memes are inside jokes shared with a bunch of people that get less funny the more people do it. So the problem is that by the time a meme gets to you, Dad, all us youths have already done the joke to death. And what's worse than that is that movies and TV and video games will try to jump in on the meme train, but just based on how long it takes to make them, the meme will be long dead by the time it comes out. So it just dates it and isn't funny. To be fair, some memes do stand the test of time.
Okay, so there's two examples. Okay, so I remember watching Trolls, that movie with Princess Poppy. And, you know, this movie came out in like 2015, 2016, I think. Mm-hmm. And there is this little troll and they get knocked over. And everyone's like, oh my god, are they okay? And the little troll jumps back up and pumps their fists into the air. They're like, YOLO! I was like, oh my god. That hasn't been a slang in use for at least 5 to 6 years.
Yeah. That one's one of the ones that didn't really stand the test of time. Now it's kind of just like you say it because it's funny to say because it's cringe.
Yeah. But the other meme that I thought was a good use of memes in media was in the Sonic movie with the crazy guy, and he's like, I saw this thing, it's a blue spiky thing, and he holds up a picture, and it's like, it was this thing, and it's The Snanic?
The Sanic.
The Sanic?
It was funny because like I was watching it with my ex-boyfriend back when we were together, and like I started like hella laughing and he didn't get it, and I turned to him and I was like, it's a meme, like it's Sanic. And I had to look it up and show it to him because he didn't know it was a meme.
It's like exactly the meme.
And I'm like, dude, I'm older than you. Like,
That
how do
is
you
like-
not know?
That is a good use of a meme in a movie.
Yeah,
But using the word YOLO was not.
it was not. It honestly, it sounds worse than in The Conjuring when they had the two, the teenage daughter and like the younger ghost hunter talking, and he was like, it's pretty far out, right? And she was like, yeah, it's groovy. And it's like, this conversation is so awkward.
It's
and
so
forced.
fucking awkward.
It's like it doesn't flow correctly. And it's the only time they use 70s slang.
It's so weird. Oh, shit. What up?
Dad, please. Anyway, change the subject. Where to now?
I'm gonna go to that goth store. Want to go to that goth store?
Yes. What?
You know, the one that's all black and tries to establish itself as anti-establishment despite being an exact representation of the establishment.
I don't know what store you're talking about. I know exactly the store he's talking about.
The one where you can buy chain wallets and basically an assault on what people fought so hard against in the punk and hardcore movement of the 70s and 80s.
Dad, you gotta be more specific.
The one you threw up in that one time?
Oh, that one. I feel like our daughter would know that store.
Yeah. Amanda runs into the store with me trailing behind her. She makes a beeline for the back.
It's pretty dimly lit, like in real life. There it is. You can still see the outline, kinda.
I'm so proud.
Speech.
Amanda.
Speech.
All right, I'll do it if you stop chanting. Amanda stops immediately. I clear my throat. Thank you all for joining us here today to commemorate a historic moment that would forever shape history. On a day very much like today, some 5 years ago, our very own Amanda and Pizza Bros had too much blue raspberry slushy on an outing to the mall. After begging her father to take her to Dead Goth and Beyond to buy rainbow suspenders, she proceeds to throw up all over a display of My Chemical Romance merchandise her loving father then had to buy for said merchandise, which is this day remains among our possessions. Thank you.
I like the name of this goth store.
I don't know where it is, but I still have a My Chemical Romance t-shirt. It's the one with like the groom and the bride, and like I think one of them's like a vampire or whatever, and it has like all these holes in it because we've had it since like 2005 or something.
It could be that way.
Amanda is moved. She begins clapping, slow at first, and faster and more vigorously. Several other patrons turn their heads. One of them also starts clapping. I bow my head.
Oh hey, chain wallets.
While Amanda busses herself looking at band t-shirts, I try to find something of interest to myself. Not much for a dad to look at in a Dead Goth and Beyond. I did have a chain wallet at one point. It was a bullet for my Valentine chain wallet, and I had it for a long ass time until the chain broke.
There's this guy at work that has a chain wallet. I make fun of him. I've told you about it. I make fun of him at work because he comes into the store, into work, and he'll play his music, but he plays like Korn and Nirvana and like Linkin Park. And I make fun of him because I'm like, I like your mom rock. And I'm not trying to say that those bands are mom rock. I'm saying it's mom rock because my mom listens to it. So to me, technically, it is mom rock.
When we were little, Mom had a Smashing Pumpkins album and like I think also a Nirvana album, which is also my middle name.
Yeah, your middle name's Nirvana.
My middle name is Nirvana. So when people are like, "Oh, so you're into Nirvana?" Name 3 of their songs. Is like, dude, my middle name is Nirvana. Oh yeah, you're a Nirvana fan? Name 5 of the freaking magazines that he interviewed for.
Name random trivia about Nirvana.
Let's see here.
We already read this.
Yeah, we already read this. Pursue the band t-shirts. Look at it an ironic mug. Check the clearance bin for hot deals. I would prefer a t-shirt. What would you prefer?
I went in, I would prefer to look at, because I'm assuming this is supposed to be like Hot Topic.
Yeah.
So I would normally look at like the earrings, but our character is not a 26-year-old woman that wants to look at earrings of dead babies. So we're gonna go look at the band shirts.
Okay. I barely know any of these bands. Cannibal Bone Party doesn't seem like music I enjoy, but they must be really happy that a retail outlet is carrying their merchandise. I hope their parents are really proud of them. This sounds like the scene where in Brutal Legend, Eddie is like snubbing the newer bands.
Yeah. Whenever like I hear like a rocker like kind of like jab at the newer bands, I'm kind of like, oh, you just sound like hella pessimistic.
Yeah.
And like stuck in your ways, because I know people that are like that and like they're unpleasant to be around.
I do try to get to know like newer bands and be like, oh, actually this music's kind of good, but I'm gonna stick to this one.
I knew somebody who really didn't like Billie Eilish, and he couldn't really give me a good reason why. And so I'm like, oh, okay, you just don't like her because she's mainstream.
Yeah, I hate people like that where they like, I fucking hate popular item of today. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You just don't like it because it's mainstream. I haven't been like that since high school. Alright. Oh, look, this is very important to me.
I overhear a stifled argument over at the cash register. An older gentleman is carrying an garment and showing it to a bored-looking cashier with pink hair.
I can see that. Don't know what to tell you, dude. I just work here. Listen, when I bought this online, the website said this blouse was Victorian inspired. However, when I received it, it clearly held a trademark of Edwardian dress age. Is he just trying to return it? Do you want a coupon? I can give you a coupon. Will you leave if I give you a coupon? Is there a manager present? Please, people have to know what they're buying. I am the manager. I already don't like this guy. I see. Well, it would seem that I have outstayed my welcome. Good day. Shopkeep. Your superiors will receive a strongly worded letter by post. Yeah, I don't like this guy. This guy sounds like a Karen.
He's a bit of a Karen when it comes to like clothing, and he does kind of like the whole like vampire like dialogue kind of thing. Whatever, dude. That's kind of why I didn't like pursue him.
Yeah, he kind of seems.
And I didn't really care for his son. I was like, I don't want to have to deal with, because he's like the other kid that I'm also like, I don't want to have to deal with a kid with an attitude when my other child is already leaving.
Yeah,
my child is also going through some stuff, and I need to focus on her right now.
Yeah, I don't know. He kind of just seems unpleasant. Like, I'm sure he's probably nice, but if they didn't make him like act like a Karen on your first meeting, I would probably be more willing to talk to him.
Yeah, the man twirls around and storms out. He is literal coattails trailing behind him. I can't tell if they are Victorian inspired or Edwardian in nature. Must be Victorian because he was just
saying he wanted something Victorian style, and he got Edwardian instead.
Yeah. Amanda trots up to me with a t-shirt in hand. Oh boy, here it comes.
Hey, Datron 5000.
Yes, I'll buy it for you.
Wow, that was easy. Thanks.
At least it's only one thing this time.
Amanda plops the shirt onto the counter and grins at the cashier. I love your hair.
The cashier says nothing and rings Amanda up, radiating hatred. I hand her a 20.
So what? Oh, sorry.
So what's the deal with that? What was that guy's deal? The cashier rolls her eyes so hard, I worried she'll pull something. That's Damien. He's in here all the time. He's obsessed with Victorian fashion or whatever. She hands Amanda her bag, and it's clear that the conversation is over. We make our way out of the store and head home to get some rest. Amanda and I sit on the couch trying to find something to watch over bowls of ice cream.
He's actually really lucky that he can go to a mainstream alternative store and find his fashion, because his fashion is very like specific, like Victorian vampire. He's really lucky that he can go to a mainstream store for that.
There's a guy online who makes his own, like, I think either Victorian or Edwardian clothing. He makes it all by hand.
You remember that vampire at the nightclub?
Oh, that guy was fucking cool.
He looked cooler than Damien or whatever.
I was dancing to The Cure. I don't remember what song. I was dancing to The Cure, and I turn and I just see this tall man with an ascot and like a full like suit on, his hair pulled back into like a long dark ponytail, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's fucking amazing.
He looks so cool.
And he's like whipping out the fucking moves. I was like, he's like doing like the really like goth dance moves. I was like, oh my god.
I want to be his friend, but I'm socially awkward.
I was like, I do not have the social status to approach this man.
I don't deserve to be in the same room as him.
It's like the scene in Kyoshi where she couldn't go straight and talk to the Fire Lord. She had to start off on one side of the building and talk to people and work her way across the room at the same pace as the Fire Lord worked his way towards her.
He was the Fire Lord.
He was the Fire Lord.
We can't just go up and talk to the Fire Lord?
The Father Lord.
Anyways. Oh, cool. Long haul paranormal ice road ghost truckers is on. Our favorite, right?
Oh, hell yes. They have to make it over the Canadian tundra before the ice roads melt, but also they're hunting ghosts. Also, the trucks are haunted. This is the episode I've already seen, but it's one of the best. Alculum and Flint Dogbone, the twin brother truck drivers and ghost hunting duo, find themselves in the greatest peril yet. Oh no, the ghosts done got control of the trucks. I can't steer on them their damn ice roads.
I can't steer on them their dang ice roads.
It's like boom, how are the ghosts and the truck.
He's listening to King of the Hill and they have to drive the truck down backwards.
Oh my god, have you seen that anime parodied version of that episode?
Yeah, I think I have.
And Bill has like this moment of like inspiration as the furniture comes flying towards him. It's like him having his whole speech in his mind, and then he stands in front of the furniture and he pushes it back. Put a clip in right now.
You gotta get right back up on that tanning bed, slip into a tight t-shirt, wash off some of that cologne, and get yourself out of that tunnel and into some strange woman bed.
That's amazing. Alright, let me use this MEVP meter to try and communicate with them spirits.
Flint, we're about to die.
Almost got it. If you listen carefully, it sounds like it's saying you're gonna die.
That's because I'm about to die. We're about to die.
This is art.
The episode ends and Amanda excuses herself to go and start Argument on the internet.
Arguments. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
I stay up a little later, curious about the exploit of Callum and Flint's dog Bone after their distressed ice road accident. Afterwards, I crawl into bed and get a good night's sleep.
Do you remember that guy from the other day that was like totally ready to argue with me on whether or not the Radcliffe boys were their cousins or their brothers?
Remember that. I did go back and I watched the episode to evaluate what happened in the episode, and I believe you were right because there's like two versions of the episode of like remembering what happened.
Yeah.
Mojo Jojo just remembers that there was an accident in the lab, and the lab caused him to become Mojo Jojo. But then Professor Utonium remembers what happens, and he remembers that Mojo Jojo pushed him and caused the explosion. And so basically, Mojo Jojo did help create the Powerpuff Girls. And so in a way,
they have two dads.
In a way, the Powerpuff Girls have two dads.
Because the guy was like, oh yeah, the router. Because it's the scene where they meet them when they're teenagers, and they're like, oh, they're so cute. And he's like, oh, just to let you guys know, they're like cousins. Because before that episode, if you don't watch that episode, but you have all the other information, you would think like, oh yeah, technically Mojo Jojo is their brother. And if Mojo Jojo made the Rowdyruff Boys, which also the Rowdyruff Boys have two dads too. Mm-hmm. But since Mojo Jojo made the Rowdyruff Boys, that would be their cousins, I guess. No, it would be their nephews, technically. Mm-hmm. So I guess I don't really know how he got cousins, but if it was how I assume he's thinking, then those would be their nephews. But it's confirmed that Mojo Jojo is technically their dad, so that's because their brother.
Utonium raised Mojo Jojo because he had Mojo Jojo as a baby.
Yeah.
And then Mojo Jojo accidentally caused the creation of the Powerpuff Girls. So yeah, that would make the Rowdyruff Boys their brother nephews.
Yeah. Mojo Jojo is their brother dad.
Uncle Grandpa.
Ew.